Doing good.
What's up,
Good.
everybody? This is Coach JT. We're on the Catching Up with Coach show. We're doing the Race for Millville City Commission series. We have a historic race. We have 19 candidates running, so it's very jam packed. It's going to be tight, very competitive. So we want everybody to get out and vote. So again, we have special guest Rachel Green, one of the candidates. So let the people know a little bit about who Rachel is.
Oh, thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much for having me this
Well,
evening. I greatly appreciate it, giving me this opportunity to speak to everyone. My name is Rachel Green. I'm a mother, a GG, a wife, auntie, and many other hats that I wear. Rachel Green holds a bachelor's in business management. I hold a master's in public administration. I'm a former school board president out of Gloucester County, and I've been on many boards and organizations. So I want to bring that talent and resources to Millville. And if you vote for me, I will always work for you and not for a dollar, a pocket of somebody else's. I'll always be working for the citizens of Millville.
nice, good stuff. So
You've got mail.
with it being like a jam packed race, um, 19 candidates.
Mhm.
What do you think is one of the things that will make you stick out above the rest? Because I know it has to be five, but what would really get you at the top, you think?
I mean, ultimately, I know all 19 of us, our hearts are in the right place. We all want to be on the board to do the best that we can for our community. I
Mhm.
think what will exceed me, ultimately with the voters, what I think will resonate with them, is my one experience and two, just my heart. I am here to work for you. If you come to a meeting, I'm going to take the time to listen to you. It's not going to be a bother for me. I know what that's like to be in the supermarket, in the Walmart, the Target, and
Yeah,
get stopped and asked a question, especially when I was, school board president. So, I decided to take this on because I'm willing to put all the time and energy into doing this as a city commissioner. So, with me, the reason why you'll want to pick me maybe over some others is I'm not going to tell you I'm too busy. I'm not going to tell you that this is not important. No, I was busy, I had work, I had this, I had that. I knew all that when I took this on. So my focus will be on my city.
good stuff.
Thank you.
Nice. So, growing up in the South Jersey area, did you grow up here your whole life?
I did. Gloucester County, for most of the time. We moved here to Millville actually a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
So I know for some people they say, oh, well, she's a newbie.
Yeah,
Why should we take our chance on her? Well, you should take your chance on me because you've already taken your chance on folks that grew up here, that lived
exactly.
here their whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That have
Hmm.
given you their time, and unfortunately, they're not producing what you need them to produce. Take a chance on the new girl and give the new girl an opportunity to bring her talents and resources to Millville.
Good stuff. So, what do you see the need? With us being in South Jersey, a lot of times people see us as the voiceless
Mhm.
because they say all the money and the population is up north. So with cities like Millville, a lot of times really get um, swept under the rug. Our issues. How do you think you can potentially fight to give us a stronger voice?
Well, first of all, you need someone that truly is going to fight for us. I'm going to talk to the larger municipalities and cities that are
Mhm.
near us. Talk to those mayors, collaborate with them, so that way you get more resources here. But more importantly, I have no problems reaching out to Trenton and talking to our Senate president or Speaker of the House, sending a letter on behalf of Millville and saying we need you down here. We need you focused on us. Again, like I said, I'm going to be fighting for us here. I love, Millville, our partners in
Yeah.
Millville. I mean, in Vineland and these other places are wonderful. But ultimately, I live here in Millville. That's where my home is. And that's what I'm going to be fighting to bring resources here. We
Nice.
need transportation here so that our folks can get out of here and get the better jobs that are
Exactly.
offered out there. We need to make sure that when our children are educated, that they're receiving the top education so that they're able to leave. Actually, we want them to stay in Millville, but we
Yeah.
also want them to be able to have those opportunities that are surrounding us here so they can stay here with us. And in order
Exactly.
to do that, we're going to have to make sure that we are fighting to make sure that our teachers and our administrators have all the tools and resources and stuff they need in the schools.
Nice.
So there needs to be a focus. Every municipality has what they call a master plan. And
Uh-huh.
that master plan encompasses your budget, your infrastructure, and so many other things. And
Uh-huh.
that really should be not only is it looked at every 5 or 10 years, but we should be focused into that. We should be
Yeah.
working towards that. And I wonder sometimes when we're so down with our police force that's not fair to those officers. Those
Exactly.
officers are overworked and underpaid, and they're out here in the streets trying to work hard to get things done for us. But but they need us to make sure that they have their brothers and sisters coming on board and helping out, in
Exactly.
regards to doing their work. And also, too, let's get some organizations to do wraparound services to go out on the streets with them. So if
Definitely.
somebody needs in crisis, or someone needs help, someone needs pampers, food, medical care, that there's somebody out there working with them, a social worker, so on and so forth, to be able to help them with that at that time. We're expecting our police officers to be everything, all
Exactly.
encompassing, and
Yep.
that's not what they're supposed to be here to do. They're supposed to be here when we call them and say, look, who to who, I'm in trouble. They're
Exactly.
supposed to be the ones to come in and whoop some behind. That's what you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But we're expecting them to be our pastors and our this and our that. Now we
Yeah.
got to give them some help. We
Exactly.
really do.
Yeah, definitely. And the one thing that I like about you running for city commission is you reached out years prior to this to people like myself, trying to see where you can help the youth, help us build up, help us get more recognition as a nonprofit. So it's not that you're just starting to work now. And that's one thing that I usually try to tell candidates or people is like, sometimes it get offensive when you try to seek me out on selection year and you knew we've been doing the work all along.
Exactly.
So then now, for the photo ops and things like that, now you want to get in touch. But for candidates like yourself, I can honestly say that you reached out prior to running for anything, and that's one thing that I appreciate.
I appreciate that. Well, you know what? I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to be that person working in the community, doing the work. And like you say, the powers that be or the big wigs here, they come down, like you said, for the photo ops, or they call you when they need you to
Yep.
get the votes out. But no, they need to be here all along. That's
Exactly.
relational building. That relationship needs to be built, and that's where the communication trust comes into play. And the reason why there's that breakdown in trust. Why would you trust me if I'm just coming out here now telling you I'm Miss Rachel Green with the degrees and the this and
Yeah.
that, and I haven't even met you the first time we're meeting each other. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I've been living here a few years now, so there's no
Yep.
excuse for me
Mhm.
not to have reached out, got involved, like you said, and do
Definitely.
some things within the community. So that causes me pause, because when you get in office, are you going to be the same way?
Yeah,
If I
exactly.
approach you with a problem in Walmart, will you stop and talk to me? Or,
Mhm.
will you read my emails? Will you get back to me when I send an email to you? Or better
Exactly.
yet, if you're in the meeting, will you take the time to really truly hear me through? Or will
Mhm.
you think, sometimes you get a feeling like you know everything, or
Yep.
will you think you know everything and shut me down and not even listen? Even if what I'm saying is wrong, at least take the time to listen and then help me understand why it's wrong.
Exactly. Yep.
Oh,
Totally
yeah.
agree. And plus, you got the right team on,
Look,
so
you
that's
know
always a
that. Go
bonus.
Birds representing.
That's right. So, with that being said, what is something that you think we can do to make the world a better place to live, Millville and abroad? What are some steps that you think we can take?
I think first and foremost, we need to start talking to each other.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, look, no matter what your political background is, religious background, ethnicity, if we
Mhm.
all sit down and break bread at the table, we're all ultimately going to find out we got more in common than we do apart. To be perfectly
Exactly.
honest with you. So first is communication, and then once that happens, relationships, and the trust comes in.
Yep.
Because now we got a relationship, we're building, we're trusting, we're doing projects and things together. You're going, you know what? I'm going, JT's all right. You're
Uh-huh.
going, Rachel's all right. Why? Because we work together. We got a relationship
Exactly.
going there. I'm coming out of nowhere. I'm coming in. I'm trying to tell you how to do your city or how to do this and do that. I never did anything in the community. I'm not getting involved. I'm not doing anything to help out. I'm gonna be hesitant too. I'm
Exactly.
like, why am I wasting my time? That's the same old jokers will come out here, say, give me the votes. You
Yep.
know what I mean? And they're
Mhm.
not doing anything to help out in their community.
Exactly.
So, yeah, you have to build those relationships. It's
Great.
key.
That's right. Because one quote that I feel as though I live by um, is where I tell people we had a tragedy here years back in Millville, and when they brought us all to the table asking our opinion, I told them, I said, "There's no such thing as power and authority without relationship. You have to have a relationship. If not, it's just going to lead to rebellion and people being standoffish. But if you build that relationship, it makes everybody's job easier. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, so thank you for that.
And if anything, you should be using your power to bring resources to your community.
Exactly.
Not just the title stops with you and then nothing's given about it. I
Exactly.
mean, you might be benefiting, maybe it gets you in certain rooms, but in the end, if you're asking for the vote of the citizens of Millville, it's to help the citizens of Millville, not to line your pocket or to build your name and reputation. And then
Exactly.
Millville still falling behind. And you're supposed to be in a leadership role. To me, I take that seriously. If I'm in a leadership role and we're still 4 years from now, you elect me. 4 years from now, we're not doing better. But remember, you got to put me on there with a bunch of other folks too, because there's 5 of us. So
Yeah,
I don't want to get outvoted. So make sure you put me on with some people I can work with. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Because
Yep.
people don't realize that. That's key and
That's
important.
key in everything.
You see, I'm a
Yep.
strong personality. I have no problem speaking up and fighting. But I
Mhm.
also need to not be one vote and the other 4 outvoting me every time we go through
Exactly.
something. Then yeah, in 4 years, no, you're not going to get anything done. You need to not. You got to vote for 5 people that you feel can work together and get something.
Exactly. Because it has to be complementary.
Yes.
That solidarity
Yes.
has to be there. If not, it's like pulling teeth. Even with the most simplest things, you get people that just want to be contrarian just for the sake of it.
Mhm.
And then now it's like you got chaos in there.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And then again, too, why are they there?
Exactly.
Because in the end, we're here about helping the citizens and moving things forward. If you're here about just being a roadblock, then we could do that for the audience. I'll be
Exactly.
honest
That's
with
the
you.
truth.
You know.
Totally agree.
So,
So we definitely appreciate you taking the time to come
no,
on.
thank you for having me. I appreciate
Yep,
it.
good luck with your campaign.
Thank you so
You know,
much.
be encouraged, and thank you for the information that you gave us. And
Oh, no
if
problem.
there's any way that we can continue to support you, let us know.
Thank you.
You know,
Appreciate
yeah,
that.
so again, people, that was Rachel Green. She's one of the candidates running for Millville City Commission. Make sure you go out, exercise your right to vote on November 4th. Support candidates like herself. And again, you take the information for what it is and do your research and make sure, like she said, you put candidates in there that's going to complement one another, that's just not going to
Remember,
clash.
you got to pick 5. You got to pick
Yep.
5 of us. So remember that.
So make sure that the ideas and the values that you see them talking about and sharing complement each other when you go to the polls. So that way you don't have just 5 individuals in there all pulling in opposite directions. So again, thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.